She does not like that at all. She hates that because it freezes her live, and we're able to pink slip it, and she does not do well with it. Yeah, so it might have been the Orkin, man. She could have got a good deal, but who knows? Whatever. She keeps on passing it up. So yes, she rage quit per usual. We're waiting for her to come over here, but
Yeah, so I just got back home. I had to go out and help a coworker friend of mine. He wanted to have me buy him a 40 with his money because I know this is going to sound horrible, but he's of a certain age that's not yet ready to be legalized to do so.
oh well.
Okay, we're gonna stop that one right there.
Who cares? I mean, can't say we all haven't done that. Wait. So, Jonathan, do you know? Does Becky sleep in her clothes or does she sleep naked?
Bill,
I
We don't want
I
to know that.
don't know. I hope she's wearing clothes. I mean, I don't even want to have now this image in my head thinking of her naked.
Well,
That's just
because okay, so the reason I'm asking because we were thinking about this earlier. We're like, damn, she wears that same orange shirt over and over and over again. That means she probably don't change her underwear, so that shit's really nasty.
ew. What even took you to that sick place?
I don't
Seriously.
know, and I was like, and then I'm like, what if she wears thongs? That was.
Fucking shame.
yeah. I don't.
I don't.
Really,
You're good, Jonathan. Sorry. That don't even ask. You don't even have to respond to like.
Yeah. I can say this though.
She's traumatized.
She does wear her clothes
hate it.
quite regularly.
Yeah.
We know.
We see that.
Team X Wild every day. What you talking about?
So, Jonathan, I had a couple questions for you, if you don't mind.
No problem.
Cool. So, do you think what she's saying is accurate, that when your dad does eventually get out, that he's going to cut you off from all this nonsense?
If he does, then that's on him. He's the stupid ass that keeps on wanting to be with her ass. So the way I see it, I don't really care. I mean, he can go ahead and cut ties with me all he wants if that's his choice. I mean, he wants to be mad and believe this woman's bullshit like he always has been, and yet he's aware the shit she always does even to him, and I've had his back more than once. So it's not nothing new to me that he wants to go ahead and do that. If that's what she's saying is true, then let him. I mean, I'm his oldest, and he's treated me like I'm the goddamn social outcast of the family, and it's like I've done nothing but be supportive of him in all his fuck ups and try to help him out, and this is how I get repaid.
Sure.
Lacey,
Kelly.
change your background picture. It's like kabopulating, so nobody can see your comments.
The other
shit.
thing I wanted to ask
Okay.
or tell
Thank
you,
honey.
she admitted on live tonight that she destroyed your mail, which is a
Better?
federal offense.
Yeah.
And she knows it was a document in regards to child support, which is a legal document.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope you pursue that she openly admitted destroyed mail with your name on it.
I can
If you
clip
are
it.
not-
Thank you.
If you are not at her residence, then she is supposed to return it to the post office,
Yep.
not destroy it. And she openly destroyed it out of malice. So I want you to keep that in mind, because that is a federal offense.
Oh, I'm gonna let her rack up her bullshit to the point to where when eventually comes down to it, she might go to prison for that. So I'm gonna let her keep on piling up and piling up, so that way maybe one day down the road it won't be just my dad getting locked up; it'll be her too.
Well,
Well,
and I've
keep
also
those
maybe have to add
screenshots.
into it too, because I've got threats and from her, like unaliving threats and stuff like that, and other stuff. So it can be a whole combobulating kind of thing.
Yeah, make sure you keep those screen recordings as evidence that she
Yep,
has done that to you.
I have the rewatch app. We're good.
No, I
Yeah.
meant Jonathan with the mail thing.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
flip
I know
it.
you got it.
I
Yeah,
can
got it.
say is this though. She is right though that those do come in her mail, but not because of me. She's incorrect for because I've already told Jama this, and I've already even my
you,
girlfriend's
Kelly.
aware of this. That pretty much Nevada is not really thinking with their head here. That they assume I'm still at the address, and I've told them where I live, and they still in the child support division wants to still keep sending it to the former address that I once lived at.
Gotcha. I understand. I just wanted to make sure you had that information, because she should not be destroying your mail.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, though, of course, I'm not too worried about though with child support because they be trying, though, on occasions they have before sent some mail to me to my actual address and insist on me paying arrears. And I've already explained this before, not to you but to others. And it's just a situation that goes back from many years that I've done it, paying the child support, and then stopped at a certain point when I had custody of my kid. And then, of course, then they try to now, after I lost custody, they've been trying to still get me to pay those arrears. But they also, if I remember, when I had him, they owed me some money, but they refused to pay.
Of course
Of
they
course.
did.
Yeah,
because
that's your whole private life, and I don't want anybody in your super private life.
Yeah.
I'm just she's gonna sling accusations at you now because she's mad. She was outed, and she did dox your entire name. She did try to dox your girlfriend's entire name. And that's not a punishable offense. I mean, nobody's really gonna do anything about it. It's very well frowned upon, but there's nothing legally you can actually do about it because everybody is a public record.
Right.
Yeah.
It does suck, but yeah, I get it.
Well, like I told Alvina too, and stuff like that, that literally, like, they don't need to stress out about it because I know Alvina's more, newer to the TikTok, trolling and stuff like that. The fact that, like, if you watch, obviously, you guys just watched her live, nobody believes Becky. Like, everybody is very well versed that she is a compulsive liar, that whatever comes out of her mouth is whatever. So people just don't even really listen to her. They're just there to, like, watch her crash out. So, like, it's not even a
Absolutely.
threat. So it's literally, your 99% of that chat was on our side, and it's always been on my side too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's nothing's gonna come out of it. She's just gonna sit there and talk to herself, and then her story's gonna change, and then she's gonna get caught up, and people are gonna call her out, and she's gonna crash out, and that's what they're there for, is just to watch her crash out because she deserves a crash out for the way she is. I mean, honestly, like, crash out. I mean, if you can't get off TikTok, you're not gonna have a peaceful life. That's all there is to it. So.
And I did listen to the live where you explained, Jama, to him about the help of getting transportation for Alexander to and from school. And Jonathan, I don't know if is something you're considering, but as a parent to a special needs child and you possibly trying to step in and help get him his education, I commend you. I'm sorry she's acting this way. It's sad. It really is, because his education should come above all this bullshit. Because that boy needs support.
I don't know if you heard, my dad apparently by miracle, like I mentioned in the interview that we were all in on the other night, or whatever, Tuesday night, and apparently he got out recently. So
yes, but I think there's still a no contact order, if I'm correct on
yes,
that.
there is, and I know where he's at,
that's,
Jonathan. I can tell you.
no contact between him, Becky, and Carl. But as for Alexander, though, I don't know how that would work out. I mean, being that dad is now out, they will probably insist on finding a way with the law to try to get that worked out where he can take Alexander to school. But I know my family, they won't really let me help them. And if I did overstep and do so and take that initiative, I also know that they're the types to call the cops. I mean, like they've had many times before.
That's
and
his favorite word. Like, calling the cops. I'm calling the cops.
Yeah, and so it's like the cops have dealt with us so many times and me with other stuff before that I honestly don't want to risk it, but I would like to if I am able to. But it's just like, it's one of those situations where it's just drama. My brother, he has made it quite plain to me, like on Tuesday night, he texted me while I was in the interview. He says, well, F you. It's like, really? Okay, fine. You want to be that way when I did not say nothing bad about you, but you want to curse me out and block me? All right.
Is it green?
He definitely didn't like that we brought up the whole, transportation thing. And I never once said for you to go over, like, their heads. I said I was going to send you the information so you could talk to them about it and, explain it to them so maybe they would understand what it was all about. I never once said that, just go over them and have them sign it, blah, blah, you just sign it. And she freaking ran with that. And I was just like,
yeah,
okay.
she did.
No, that's how they take it, though. That's how they take it. They take it as like me taking over their life, and that's how she did it, twisting words and things around that I've ever said before years ago. I remember one time, like she even brought up in one of her videos saying that, well, how I was living with them or staying with them, and how I had offer to help them out in this and that way with like gas and this and that, and her trying to say, well, if this is the case, that if I was to do this or that, that they would have to do this and that for me. It's like, no, I did not. And then I remember, because of her lies and twisting shit around, she tells my dad all this crazy stuff. He decides to get drunk, or get us both drunk, just to have me and him fight back in 2015 when this all happened. And it was just over the fact of miscommunication on her part, because she didn't want to tell him the truth, because she knew that I was a threat to her. For whatever reason, I was a threat. And I don't really know why. Even to this day, I'm still a threat to her. And I have done nothing to this woman except for the fact that she's always been complaining and crying because I won't accept her as a parental mother figure to me. No, sorry, you are not no mother figure to me. You'll never be my mom. That's just plain simple as that.
Right.
So I have another question, if you don't mind. Does Alexander act that way when his mother's not on live? I mean, the words coming out of his mouth when she's on live are absolutely atrocious and, highly disrespectful to her. Does he always speak like that, or is he pretty much subdued and she gets him riled up when she's on live?
It can go both ways. It is also like a gamble, like sitting in Wheel of Fortune TV show, where you're just like wondering, all right, what's happening? And then, at a moment at random, Alexander would just initiatively sometimes just say some foul stuff to his mom. And then there's moments where she'll then also, yes, use the TikTok or some form of social media or anything in general just to get him riled up to do it again and again and again. And they, for years, since he was 5 years old, has allowed him to be this way. They thought it was okay at a young age for him to be this foul mouth, to where now that he's a teen, now they don't know how to stop this from happening. Now they don't know how to correct the whole mistake, the whole issue that they had initiated from when he was only 5.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
he
like,
says some pretty off the wall sexual things and
well, he expressed it on the
disgusting
live
vile
stream.
behavior. Now that he's of this age, it's almost impossible to correct that behavior unless you are a very strong-willed parent who puts her foot down, and she obviously doesn't do that. And I fear for his safety and his education going into school. If he acts that way at school or something like that, he's going to have serious consequences. You can't threaten to pour gasoline on somebody and get away with it in real life.
Well, being he's 16, I can tell you this, as we all are aware of, no matter what state you're in, no matter if one side of the law supports the male side of in terms of gender or the female side in terms of gender, but when it comes to minor children, no matter if he's 16 or not, and him saying something like that, they can hold him accountable and also probably legalize him, emancipate him themselves. The law will, if they feel that he is an actual serious threat to society, and hold him accountable and put him in prison for making a death threat towards someone's life, especially someone he does not know. I remember watching on YouTube back last year and throughout this year a bunch of like news article reports about minors who have committed serious offenses, not so much as verbal, but actual physical harm to people, like such as assault or murder, and they've been emancipated by the law to be held accountable as an adult and then be sent to prison for their crimes. And
and
if it comes down to,
that's my fear, because I see the potential in him. I've heard him hurt the animals. I haven't seen it, where I think we've all heard it. And that is a precursor to some bad behaviors in the future. And I fear for him, as your brother. I'm sure you care about him immensely, even though he's behaving badly or whatever. And I see the potential for him to physically harm someone or an animal. And some news, he did threaten to throw gasoline on somebody and set them on fire because, he was enraged.
Tap the screen, guys. Be careful what you're saying.
Sorry, I apologize.
Just a
I thought I
reminder.
was being careful. But
if Mitchell's police was to have heard that, I'm pretty sure they would take a serious account into that. And then, being that they won't really necessarily do anything with him legally in terms of having him pay some form of a price behind bars or whatever, as being he's a minor,
Right.
but they'll take a slow step by maybe having both parents in the house take accountability and maybe spend some time behind bars or pay a fine. Whereas him, they'll probably involve the state in Child Protective Services, removing him from the home, and he'll be in the state's care. And then
which
from
isn't
then
always
on,
better either. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And South
from then
Florida.
on, then whatever he does then in their care, can then result on him after.
Right.
Right.